Continuing the steps on how to graph rational functions, we're going to look at horizontal isotopes. So horizontal isotopes, quite a few options you have. If it's bottom heavy, it means that the power of the bottom is greater than the power of the top. Okay, if that happens, then your isotope is y equals 0. So 2 is greater than 1. Here again, the highest power is on the bottom is greater than the highest power of the top. So 1 is greater than 0. So that means the isotope is y equals 0. But here you have not just the rational bit, but you have the rational plus 3. So you're going to take your y equals 0 and add 3 to it, because the y equals 0 part is just the rational. So let me show you what I mean. So again, that part, the rational, is y equals 0. Then you have a plus 3 part. So your actual isotope is y equals 3. Again, look at another example. The power of 2 is greater than the power of 1. So then the isotope is y equals 0. Go ahead and do that last example. All right, let's take a look of if the powers are the same. So the greatest power of the numerator is the same as the greatest power of the denominator. So here you can see the powers are 1 equals 1. They're exactly the same. What happens in that situation? Then you take the leading coefficients of the greatest power. In this case, it's 2 over 1. And that is your isotope. Okay, so let's do it again. So again, find the powers. The powers are the same. So that means the coefficients, which are 12 over 3. And that is your isotope. But that's just the rational bit, right? Plus 2, because that's got nothing to do with it. So 12 divided by 3 plus 2, your isotope is y equals 6. All right, let's take a look at another one. Again, be careful. They might jumble it up. So find the highest powers. Write those down. So 2 is equal to 2. Therefore, you just look at the coefficients. And if there's a negative, make sure you put that there. Minus the 5, that's not part of the rational function. So put that in the calculator. Your isotope is y equals negative 9. Go ahead and try this last example as well for yourself, but fix that it's supposed to be x to the power of 3 on the denominator. All right, so we've looked at bottom heavy, the same, and let's look at top heavy. What that means is the power on the top is greater than the power on the bottom. But there's a special situation. If it's exactly 1, the difference is exactly 1, you divide the rational and you have a slant isotope. If it's not 1, then you don't have an isotope. So in this case, it's exactly 1, right? Because when the top is greater than the bottom by exactly 1, so there's a slant isotope. To get that, you divide the rational, and y equals is the result without a remainder. So let's go ahead and divide. So again, the divisor on the bottom. All right, then you put the first term in the box. I'll do the box method. All right, so x times something is 2x squared. 2x. 3 times 2x is 6x. Diagonals have to add up to 5x, so that's going to be minus x. X times negative 1 is going to be negative x, and then finally 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. But that's not what I have at the end, so I have to make it 6, so that means I have a remainder of 9. All right, let's write this out. So your answer is on the top, 2x minus 1 with a remainder of 9. So y equals 2x minus 1 plus 9 over x plus 3. Now, when you get in your slant, the x value, as you go more to the right, this gets bigger. So that means that whole thing gets smaller. So eventually it goes to 0. So really your slant isotope is just the actual answer without the remainder. So again, just a quick summary. If the bottom is greater than the top, y equals 0. If it's exactly the same, the leading coefficients. If it's the top is greater than the bottom by exactly 1, you divide, and that's your slant isotope. If the top is greater than the bottom by more than 1, there's no isotope. And that's how you do horizontal isotopes. Let's practice.